Hi everybody, my name is Emily and I'm here to talk to you today about pharmacogenetics. Pharmacogenetics is the science of understanding how genetic variability influences drug treatment outcomes. Or another way to say that would be that pharmacogenetics is the study of how people respond differently to drug therapy based upon their genetic makeup. Diet, overall health, and environment also have significant influence on medication response, but none are stronger indicators of how you will process medication than your genetics. From the moment medications enter your body works to actively process or metabolize them. All drugs eventually will leave your body, but the time that they stay active and your bloodstream working is often determined by genetic variations that change the way your drug processing enzymes work. Pharmacogenetics is not to be confused with pharmacogenesis, which is similar, but pharmacogenetics focuses on the influence of single genes on drug response, as opposed to an individual's entire genome. So this is nothing new. It goes all the way back to 510 BC, when Pythagoras observed that ingestion of fava beans resulted in potentially fatal reaction in some, but not all individuals, which we would eventually learn is a deficiency of G6PD. Then in 1866, Mendel established some rules of heredity. Also in the late 1800s, concept of personalized medicine was anticipated by Canadian physician Sir William Osler, who noted the great variability among individuals. Also, although early observations of unusual drug reactions based on biochemical individuality were noted in the 1930s, the field of pharmacogenetics was not officially recognized until 1959, when the term was published by Friedrich Vogel, a German physician. So, how does pharmacogenetics relate to our class? The answer is how doesn't it? We have been talking about the genome, genes, alleles. We've even been talking about the single nucleotide polymorphisms. There are SNPs from the very start and are all the basis of pharmacogenetics. And also, in the time we're living in, personal genotype information is increasingly being made available directly to the consumer. For example, 23andMe. Genetic testing through them is as easy as going online and ordering it. Pharmacogenetic testing determines whether individual difference in expression of a protein or enzyme affect the metabolism of a specific drug. It is not the same thing as genetic testing, which is more like a 23andMe test. It is only used to determine a person's response to a specific medicine. Although there are a number of different types of polymorphic markers, most attention recently has focused on single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs, and the potential for using these to determine the individual drug response profile. Currently, we kind of prescribe drugs according to the model that one dose fits all. Using SNP profiling, it may be possible to tailor drug prescription and drug dosage to the individual, thereby maximizing efficiency and minimizing toxicity. One of the major findings in the pharmacogenetics field has been the discovery that drug effects not only vary among individuals, but can also vary between racial and ethnic populations. However, like most other complex traits, drug response phenotypes show greater variability among individuals within a particular ethnic population than between races or ethnicities. some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros. So if you have to get testing, it's very non-invasive. It requires only a blood or a saliva sample. Knowledge of patient genotype for things like complex diseases is important in prescribing drugs in the future, or for people that have to undergo operations, but know that they have issues with certain drugs. This can save a lot of pain for patients. Also, precision cancer treatment based mainly on the tumor genotype is being implemented successfully thus far. And the genetic basis of inter-individual variation in drug responses are likely to be simpler in many cases than the genetic basis of common diseases. Which is to say, it could indicate that pharmacogenetics might move faster than disease genetics in the future. Cons. So, one of the complaints from the research I read was that keeping track of the testing can be a hassle for physicians. Another major con is that pharmacogenetic tests are only available for a limited number of medicines. I've put them to the right. So there's not as many as you would think. And with a few exceptions, there is still only limited data showing clear benefit for genotyping prior to drug prescription due to lack of randomized clinical trials or unclear outcomes from such trials. There is insufficient information for assessing clinical usefulness. This is a big deal. But hopefully moving forward, they're able to get some clearer results. Thank you for watching.